This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
And welcome into the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. My name is Anthony.
And I'm Pauline.
And we're going to start talking about the NBA. And we're going to talk about, Russell Westbrook, Isaiah Thomas.
Yep.
And also James Harden.
James Harden.
Basically, the three of them are insane. They're really good at basketball. And they keep doing things that are
really good in basketball.
Really good in basketball. And I was going to say rare, but then it's not exactly rare because we kind of saw these stats, and how they're doing it. And so, Russell Westbrook and James Harden, they both had triple-doubles in which they at least scored 35 points. Russ basically did it in less than 30 minutes.
Yes.
Which is the second time he's done it against the Knicks and third time overall. Meanwhile, Isaiah Thomas had the 40th straight 20-point game this season. Him and Havlicek are the only Celtics to do it. It's been done. He's the 17th player to do it. Have at least 20 points, 40 straight games. 16 of them have done it before him, obviously. 12 of them are Hall of Famers. The 4 that aren't, Kobe, probably mixed with all the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah.
LeBron, probably follows too. Durant,
yeah.
Same. And McGrady.
Like
all of them are going to be Hall of Famers. And I'm saying,
exactly. They just haven't gotten to that stage in their careers yet.
It's one of those things where Isaiah keeps doing these things where he just puts up a bunch of points, and he puts up a lot of them in the fourth quarter. I think he put up 15 this game.
Yeah, he does. He ends really strong.
Yeah, he's doing these things where even though it says 5'9", I don't think he's actually 5'9". I think he's more around like 5'7".
That's his 5'9" with shoes on, 2 pairs of socks, and standing up really tall, straight.
Like giraffe style, just stretching your neck out kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
He's someone who basically epitomizes the thing of just like, you probably don't want to mess with him. Like, I wouldn't fight him, like, at all. Because, well, no, here's the thing. Like, he's, the man's, we'll call him 5'9", just to be, call him 5'9".
We'll say 5'9", that's, yeah.
We'll say 5'9", because that's what the thing says.
Roster height, 5'9". Well, then your roster height is what, then?
Me? I was probably 6 feet.
Yeah,
because I'm like 5, I'm like
6'1", then, your roster height.
Right, so in that case, because we'll call him 5'9", fine.
All right.
You understand he's not always been 5'9". When he was playing before, he was probably like 5'6", 5'5", something like that when he was coming up through high school and whatever. He got a little bit of a growth spurt later on.
Used to.
He's been, obviously the little guy in the NBA his whole life, and he's had to fight people, and I haven't.
Oh, my
and it's not going to go well for me. And he was the last pick in the draft, right? He was the 60th pick in the draft, the Kings draft that also had them take Jimmy Fredette over Klay Thompson, but that's fine. We don't talk about that.
Okay.
But they also, took him, which good for them, and then they got rid of him, bad for them. Sent him, I don't think they sent him directly to the Celtics. I think he went to Toronto or something like that beforehand, but then he ended up going to the Celtics after that, and he's somebody that now is scoring almost 30 points a game. Like, he's basically someone that you don't have a good answer for, even though you would think at 5'9", you should be able to block his shot or at least affect it, but he's still scoring, like I said, all these points in the fourth quarter too. He's someone that Phoenix was the team he went to before he went to Boston, and he's basically doing all of these things for a team that he's the only like star, right? Because Al Horford's really good, but he's not like an all-star kind of guy. And then you mix in other people like Marcus Smart or Avery Bradley or people you kind of mix around like that. He's the main guy. And then over in Oklahoma City, you get Russell Westbrook, who basically does not care that he has teammates. Like, he's glad that they exist to basically, help.
Just to be on the floor.
Just to be on the floor so that way he can basically be guarded by 5 guys.
Yeah.
Like, you have to at least
It's
guard.
Regulation.
Right. You have to have these other people so that way they have to be guarded somewhat. But he's just like, why would I give up these shot attempts? Like, I don't trust you. Who are you? Oladipo? You get one. You get one pass. You better make this pass. You better make this shot. But he's doing these things, obviously having triple-double. You get James Harden in Houston, who is really close to a triple-double. He's basically doing everything he can try and do to win the game. And they're a lot better team this year. He's averaging basically 30, 11, and 8. You have these three guys who are all in the Hall of Fame, MVP kind of candidacy right now.
Right.
I guess you can probably say LeBron because LeBron's probably always in that kind of stratosphere because if you take LeBron off of the Cavaliers, they stink.
Right.
They would be so bad.
Right.
But you have these three guys, and I feel bad a little bit for Harden because he's not going to win MVP of the league because it's probably going to go to Russell Westbrook if he averages triple-double.
Right.
But what Harden's doing is still insane. And I remember
because you're having one of your best seasons,
but it's
getting overshadowed just because someone else is having that all-star selfish season, which is fine because we've talked about that.
Sure.
And we want that for Russell this year.
And 2 years ago with Harden, he had the same thing, right? He was doing really well, 27 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds, almost 6 rebounds. But he lost in a close race to Steph Curry when he won his first MVP.
Yes.
So, and now he's doing even better this year. But Russell Westbrook is just like, no, I'm getting all of these shots.
Yes.
I am taking all of these shots. Every now and then I'll dish off to Steven Adams or something like that, but I'm going to get all of these shots. And
I'm only dishing out because I need those assists.
Yeah.
To get my
the only reason, the only reason he averages 11 assists is because he needs to get the stats up. That's it. It's just I want to get these assists so I can get this triple double. But and to be fair, they're also winning. They're the 7th seed in the West, and they have a winning record. So
definitely.
He's someone that all three of them are just doing insane things that I honestly didn't think Isaiah could do. Because before he left Sacramento, he was averaging 20 points a game, so you knew he could score.
Yeah, he was doing really well for us.
But he was also doing it on a bad team, right? It was one of those things that Kenny Smith would always say, looter in a riot kind of thing. Someone's got to score 20 points, right? An NBA team made of professionals, not what Philadelphia was trotting out 3-4 years ago. Legit NBA teams have enough talent to get about 85 to 90 points every night, right? That's how that's going to go. They're just going to luck into 80 to 90 points. And when that happens, someone's going to average somewhere between 15 and 20 points a game. That's going to happen. He averaged 20 points a game, but the team was really bad. Now that the team's actually winning, now he's averaging more points. He's more involved in the offense. And you got a team that doesn't have stars, but he's just the guy that basically helps them be what they are. You got James Harden, who has the greatest coach for him ever in Mike D'Antoni, who's just oh, you don't want to play defense? I don't want to coach defense. All right, perfect. Let's go.
Right.
It's just it's fun to watch these things just because, also you forget the fact that you also have some team like San Antonio who, as great as the Warriors are, and the Warriors are fantastic, they only lost 9 games this entire season. But then you also get the team right behind them, and they're only 4 games back because they're 43-13. So as good as the Cavaliers and the Rockets and the Warriors and everyone else is, Spurs are still there. And
tried and true.
I swear to God, do you know what Kawhi Leonard sounds like his voice?
Actually, no.
I have no idea what he sounds like. None.
I feel like it's really not soft, but just more reserved and low.
The man could talk like Mike Tyson. I have no idea what he sounds like. None. He could have the highest pitched voice. He doesn't speak. At least Tim Duncan spoke every now and then.
True. Every once in a while.
Yeah, Tony Parker had a thing where he cheated with Brent Barry's wife. They've had some kind of stuff every now and then. Manu Ginobili's got a bald spot. We know certain things about certain people. I don't know anything about Kawhi except he's really good at defense.
That way, and then he only gets his braids done once a season.
That's it.
That's it.
Exactly. All I know about Kawhi Leonard is that he's fantastic at defense and is really good at shooting threes.
Yes.
That is all I know about him.
Tried and true.
And that's, yeah.
I like Kawhi.
No, I like Kawhi too. But somehow they managed to basically keep the boring Spurs.
Yeah, but they're boring. They fly under the radar, but they're, like you said, still so good. Well, I mean, If it's not broken, don't fix it.
No, that's the other thing too, because they're going to win 50 games again.
Yes.
They've only not won 50 games since 1990. I want to say it was like 7 or 8.
No, it was 96, 97.
96, 97.
Yeah.
But the only time they didn't win it.
Before they had Tim.
Right, before they had the year before he didn't win 50 games because they had to tank that year basically to get Tim Duncan. The only year in the whole frame that he was there / this year as well, the only year they didn't win 50 games was the season that only had 50 games, the 99 season. And even then, if you kind of like average it out to like if it would have been 82 instead of 50, they would have won 50 games.
Yes.
The only reason they didn't win 50 because they can't go 50-0.
Right.
Even the year where they had 66 games, they won 50 games.
Right.
Like the team is a beast. The team is, still going through. And who knows, maybe they make it to the, finals because maybe it's not the Warriors and Cavs again because maybe someone gets hurt. Like the Cavs don't seem to get hurt.
Yeah.
But if all of a sudden Steph Curry, tweaks his ankle or something like that, maybe they don't make it. If, Kevin Durant all of a sudden, hurts his shoulder or something like that, things can happen to where a different team can make it. But you basically have 3 teams in the West, 2 teams in the East. We didn't really talk about the Warriors and Cavs because, well, we've always talked about the Warriors and Cavs. They're the 2 best teams. We think they're going to make it to the finals.
Right.
But at least you have these other teams that
are strong contenders.
Yeah, and it might just be the situation where these are just stories that we like to talk about to like distract us from the fact that it's going to be the Warriors and Cavs. Because like when the season started, it was like
I kind of do want it to be the Warriors and Cavs, but then I kind of don't.
I do want it to be the Warriors and Cavs just because I want to see like the third round. Like I want to see.
No, right.
You had the first round 2 years ago when the Warriors won, but you had Kyrie hurt. And then the year after that, you had the Cavs win, but you had Steph, who might have been a little bit hurt as well. So you have kind of like both scenarios where it's like, okay, well, I wasn't at full strength, but we weren't at full strength. Now you have the third round where it's like, all right, everybody.
This is going to be the deciding factor.
And I also want the Cavaliers to trade for Carmelo Anthony so they can have Melo, Love, Irving, and James against Clay, Steph, Durant, and Draymond. Like I want 4 versus 4, and then just everybody go.
Right.
Like I thought, and Carmelo can probably mold to it just because LeBron's his boy, and LeBron will just be like, "You're gonna do what I tell you to do." He'd be like, "Okay."
And Carmelo's gonna be like,
"LeBron,
you gonna get this ring?"
Yeah, that's the thing. Carmelo's gonna be like, "Oh, I get to make it to the finals. Okay, that'll be fun."
Right.
And he gets to get rid of the whole New York stench. The Phil Jackson stench. James Dolan trying to like kick out Charles Oakley.
Yeah.
That whole situation was strange with Charles Oakley. Like, it's basically.
And then did you hear about them reconciling?
Because Michael Jordan basically had to step in and be like, "What are you doing?" And Adam Silver, like, "What are you doing?"
Yes.
James, come here, James. Why are you kicking Charles Oakley out?
Yeah,
I don't like him.
What is going on?
Like,
literally, what is going on?
Like, they literally had to have some like summit where it's basically just like, okay, James, look, I understand you don't like Charles. That's fine. You can't literally have it on television, taking 8 guys and like lifting them up out of the building. Like that doesn't look good.
That whole situation all last week was terrible.
I do love the funniest part of the whole thing because we can get some jokes on it too. The funniest part was when he was trying to make Charles Oakley look like a, kind of bad guy who, had menacing intentions or whatever. Mm-hmm. He was trying to say like, oh, well, we all felt unsafe. And then they had the people who worked there, file reports or like, give their statements or whatever.
Yes.
And they were reading the statements on air. Bomani Jones was, and none of it sounded like he was a menacing person. It just sounded like he wanted to get to his seat, and they're like, wait, no, you can't really go there. And he's like, fine. Like, kind of like not happy about it or whatever, but not like making a stink of it or whatever. So that part didn't work out for Dolan either. And then he banned him, and everyone.
Yeah, banned him
and everybody went on Oakley's side, which was great. Like, you had like a guy, like this big giant guy who was just like angry and like known to fight, and everyone was like, no, I'm taking his side.
No, yeah.
It was great.
It was all bad. That entire situation. So luckily they got that cleared up because
I think he's still.
But it was kind of like interesting to me that Phil Jackson kind of like prompted that whole like meeting, telling Jordan to talk to Oakley and things like that. But it's like, so you're worried about that situation. Yet you have your own situation that you need to clean up yourself.
The Knicks are just like, I mean, there are worse organizations in the NBA. Like the Orlando Magic are a really bad team who don't seem to know what they're doing.
Yes.
The the Brooklyn Nets are a really bad team.
Yes.
Like they are bad. But the Knicks just seem to be a team that's just like,
They're just getting a lot of FaceTime too.
yeah, they're like
Media time.
It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of like a scenario where it's just like they have a girl, like they have a girlfriend or something like that. They don't love her. They just have it because they want to have a girlfriend. Like they have like Derrick Rose and like, Joakim Noah, and it's like, oh, you have people. It's like, yeah, but we don't really like them. We just have them because we have to have somebody. Like I just have to have a girlfriend. Like it seems like it's one of those things. Like they don't like who they're with, but they have to have it because they're New York City and they can't fly under the radar. And you get Joakim Noah, who basically shoots knuckleballs every time he shoots. Derrick Rose decided to skip a day, just went AWOL. Carmelo Anthony hates Phil Jackson.
Family problems.
Right, he didn't tell anybody. He just left.
Man.
He just left.
I'm gonna tell you nothing.
Apparently, you have to tell somebody.
If my son calls, I'm out.
That's fine. Also, just tell somebody. Tell Joakim.
Well, maybe
tell Carmelo.
he needs to fire his people because maybe he did tell one of his assistants to tell somebody and they dropped the ball.
Okay, but you have that situation. Did you see Noah shoot free throws?
Yeah,
it spins. And not the spin like, where you're supposed to spin.
Right.
Like knuckleball. Like it goes all different directions, stuff it's not supposed to do.
It's too late in his career to change it, though.
No, he is who he is at this point. Oh, no, and the best part of the whole thing?
That's his Parks and Rec's coach fault.
Yes. The best part of the whole situation with the Oakley thing actually was the day after that when, Oakley was suspended or banned or whatever you want to say. James Dolan, who basically wanted to save face and was like, no, former players, they love me. Look at them. Look at how they surround me.
Look at Latrell.
Sprewell.
Yes.
This is who you choose. The guy who was literally known for two things. He was a good basketball player too.
Yes.
But he's known for two things. Number one, basically saying, I need to feed my family and I can't do it off of, I think it was like $10 million a year or something like that. Basically said like, I need more money. That's number one. And number two, choking the coach.
Yes.
Like those are your two things you're known for is choking the coach and getting suspended for the rest of the season because you can't choke a coach. That doesn't look good. Players don't respect you. Players don't respect the coach if you get choked out and you still get to start the next game. Two things he's known for, right next to Dolan. It's insane.
That was, Ben and I talked about that, I think, on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was all bad.
It's a situation.
We're like, what is going on?
Yeah, you choose him. The best part was they had the Rangers hockey team who know maybe next to nothing about like basketball in the sense of like
sure,
they play
it's not their
sport.
Not their expertise,
They were chanting Oakley.
Yeah.
They were chanting Charles Oakley's name. Hockey fans, because they hate Dolan.
Because I know.
It's just great.
It's a very interesting situation over there in New York.
It's just funny to like make fun of the Knicks. It is. It's just fun sometimes, just like, to mock the Knicks because they haven't been a good basically organization since the turn of the century.
And with that, we're going to take it to a quick break. Oh, poor Knicks. Poor Carmelo.
I do feel bad for Melo.
I feel bad for Carmelo. He doesn't deserve this.
He
does not deserve this.
He at least has tried. I'll give him that. He at least has tried, yeah.
And he's still being a respectable man.
Yeah, he's
in his craft.
He hasn't said anything. He's just been like, every time they go like, well, Phil Jackson this, he's like, okay. I haven't seen these comments yet. I will look at them later, but he has his opinion, and we're gonna move from there. Like he totally has to be like, he has to be like, I like my job. I like my job.
He doesn't deserve this. Free Carmelo.
They're gonna try.
Carmelo, free yourself. And so with that, we're gonna take it to a quick break, and when we come back, we have a lot more things in the sports world to discuss. So keep it locked here. You're listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. We'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. I'm your favorite host, Pauline, and then this is also Anthony.
Hello.
He's, whatever.
I'm
He's
here
Anthony.
too. All right. I love you too.
Just
Cool.
kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, so we're going to jump into football now. So football, there's been still a lot of things going on, even though football season's, I guess you could say, over.
It's definitely over.
It's over, but it doesn't sleep.
No, they always have things happening. There's always like some free agency stuff.
Something going on,
Yeah.
somebody doing something. But we are here to discuss right now. There is going to be a book and movie to chronicle the life of Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony says that he would go watch it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Well, I also said it all depends who they
Premiere
actually
night?
get.
Are you going on premiere night?
No. I've only gone. No, when was the last time I went to premiere night?
I just went to go premiere night to go see Batman, the Lego Batman.
Was that good? That's probably
It was really good.
It was
I
really
liked
good.
It was cute.
It's been a long time since I gone to like premiere. Like I've seen movies since, but like premiere night, like I think it might have been, I don't even know. Like probably like a year ago, probably when I went and saw like Deadpool or something like that. Like
Okay.
that might have been. I know I went for Star Wars, but like I don't know. But yeah, like I'll definitely go see it. Like it all depends who they get. Like we were talking during the break, like if they say like a Mark Wahlberg, we need to go get Mark again.
Yes.
Come here, we're gonna do another Boston movie. Come on, Mark, we're gonna do like. Then it's just like okay, you can't keep bringing him out because the people that are doing it are actually the people that were involved with like Patriots Day and Boston Strong and The Fighter, like all these like Boston centric things.
True.
So this movie's going to be very homerific for Boston.
Right.
Which
rightfully so.
Makes sense because it's going to be about Brady. And it's going to be about Deflategate. And it's going to be... Okay, one more thing. I've talked to Jeremiah about this. It's like a little irking thing that messes with me. Anyway. No, it's fine.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's just really quick diatribe for like, give me like 30 seconds. Now.
Gotcha.
Okay, Deflategate, Spygate, Bountygate, all these things. They all have the first word and then gate, right?
Yes.
And all these things stem from Watergate. Right. Watergate had nothing to do with water. It was a hotel. Why? Why is everything something gate? It has nothing to do.
It's like controversy.
Right.
It's like
and I get that Watergate was a huge scandal, everything else, the president. Totally get that. Also, Watergate had nothing to do with water. It was a hotel.
Yes.
And now everything is Spygate because it was about spying, or Deflategate because it was deflating footballs, or Bountygate because it's about bounties.
Now we're going to have Podgate.
Right.
About podcasts.
All these things, yes, had nothing to... Anyways, it's just like something that like every time I hear something again, I'm like, that's not what... Anyways, all right, so yeah, it'll be about Deflategate. It'll be about his getting his fifth Super Bowl. It's going to be about him doing all these other things. Very... we love Tom. They're going to make Tom Brady look like a deity, right? He's going to make him look like a Greek god. Which, fine, because, again, it's kind of Boston-centric with the people that are doing it. Anyways.
Sure.
And if they can get somebody who's good in the Brady role, if they can get somebody to...
I don't know.
Because you're also, if you're going to make it Boston homerific, you're totally going to make Goodell look like Satan. You're totally going to make him look like the worst person in the world. Like he's just like, ha, ha, ha. Like some guy that's just like twiddling his like handlebar mustache, tying some lady to the train tracks, something like that. Yeah, he's totally going to make him look like that guy. So, they're doing all these things. And apparently they're also having something for Malcolm Butler, like a movie about him called The Secondary.
He has a cool life story, too.
Yeah. And he's, he got the interception that won them the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and now he's got 2 rings.
Yeah.
I get why they're doing it for Brady, because it's Brady, and he's got 5 rings, and this is basically the season where he got to basically shove it in Goodell's face, and he got his 5th ring, which more than Montana. He had the comeback down 25 points. Like, I totally get why they're making the movie. And I just want to see how...
But how deep are they going to get? See, I kind of want it to be like a docuseries.
Right.
So I can get like firsthand accounts, and I want to see documents, statements, things like that.
But the only thing I was telling you with that is like you have to... It's also really close to it happening, right? You'd have to probably wait like 5 years. Like for all to die down, like, if you want to have it like a 30
you don't
for
want
30.
to like unveil something new?
Well, no, I mean, you can have the thing, but, like, it would then just be, like, a couple of interviews. It wouldn't be – like, you like the stuff to kind of die down because also if you do one of those 30 for 30 things, you have to get, like, interviews from, like, Kraft and Brady and Belichick and Goodell. And they're not going to do it right now. They're just going to be like, yeah, we're not doing that right now. Like, we got to worry about the season. Like, if you do it, like, 5-10 years from now, once everything's kind of, like, died down or whatever. Yeah. Once they don't care about it anymore, then you get better stuff. Like, my favorite 30 for 30 is the U. That's what they did about the Miami Hurricanes.
Oh, okay.
Which is from the 80s.
I love the Fab Five.
The Fab Five, okay, it's the same thing.
Ooh, love
long time ago.
I can and that one over and
they
over.
all talked about, well, except for Chris Webber. He didn't want to talk
exactly.
to
See, that's what I'm saying.
So that would be bad for the
that.
Patriots thing then, because you wouldn't have Belichick. Belichick doesn't talk in press conferences where they make him.
Right.
Tom Brady wouldn't do it. Goodell doesn't want to speak. He doesn't go out unless he's forced to come out, like with a cattle prod. Like, Goodell, go back out again, say words. You know, so I mean, that whole thing. Like, I get what you're saying. Just now wouldn't be a good time to do it. I don't know if now would be a good time to make a movie.
I was going to say for the movie, that's what I think too. I think that's maybe why I'm not as interested in it is because I feel like there's still, but then there's no release date either. So
sure. And then, it's not like it's going to be
talks.
Released in like 6 months. Like it could be released in like 2 years. Like if they don't even have like a script yet or something, I guess they have the script because it's factual stuff, but like.
But I say to know, like, actually a script for
everything
for the screen.
You know, they don't have the actors, they don't have the director like fully vetted, the writer fully vetted. Like they don't have all these things kind of like fleshed out.
Wouldn't you still want some commentary from Tom Brady though, for accuracy?
I think the best thing would probably be to like you kind of start the movie off, basically like with the whole crowd going in the Super Bowl, and then like have Brady like be the narrator for the beginning of it, maybe like a beginning and end kind of thing.
Hire Anthony.
I'm saying like that would be like a good way to like start it or whatever.
You think so?
Yeah, like you start off the whole thing.
How I guys, you see that? That's me.
Well, yeah, just have the thing where it's like
I got here.
Like you have the whole thing where like you pan up and it's like the whole crowd going cries or whatever. Like you have the tunnel or whatever.
Every sports movie starts.
Yeah, like the cliche, right? The cliched football thing where it's just like they're in the tunnel, you hear the crowd, you get Brady over as like a narrator, basically saying just like. Even though we were down 25, I knew we could come back. Like, just have these kind of cliche things going.
Yes.
And it'd be fine or whatever. And then maybe, like, in the middle of it.
His childhood home.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you could have, all these little things play out. It's something where you can kind of play a little bit of both sides with that. And then you could also have at the end, after everything, Brady talk about winning the game and everything that happened afterwards. Because, like I said, by the time it comes out, it'll be a year or two from now.
Sure.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be kind of fun to see, but it's going to be interesting to see what people think about it and see how homerific the thing is. Because if it's super like, oh, Boston is so good. Look at our titles. Look at our 5 titles. We got all these rings. People are going to be like, I don't.
Only Boston
that.
People are going to see it.
It'll sell out in Boston for like a year straight.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but in like New York City, they're like, yeah, we're not going to go see that.
No, definitely not. And that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
If it's too soon, but I like how we said there, it's not like there's a release date of June or something,
right?
So that does help, but I don't think I'd be interested in watching that until maybe even after his career is over, to like reminisce again on how that is. But I mean, that would be cool.
Well, he wants to play for another like 5 years.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's also a madman. Like
But you know what I'm saying? Like right now. Why watch a movie when you could just watch him, I guess?
Plus, if he gets, let's just say he gets another ring and he gets 6.
Right. Then now it's old.
Now it's,
old news.
Yeah. I guess the Deflategate thing will always kind of hang out there because that was something that went on for literally 2 years. So,
sure.
That'll always kind of be up there. But, yeah, it'll be fun to see what they do with this whole thing, see who they cast, see how the story goes, see how much of a villain they make Adele look.
Right. So, we'll see how that goes. I'll look forward to it. I'll go watch with you, Anthony.
See, there it is. Awesome.
But like a week after it already comes out.
So
some reviews from other people.
Yeah, go to Rotten Tomatoes, see if everyone hates it.
Yeah. Everybody. Anyway, so with that, we're going to cut it to our last break of the episode. And when we come back, we are going to wrap it up with you guys some more sports news. So we'll be right back.
Are you looking for the very best NFL and college football podcast? Then check out the GSMC Football Podcast. Get the latest football news both on and off the field. From the NFL Draft to trades to the rumor mill to the NFL Combines. They got you covered. That's GSMCpodcast.com/football-podcast. Get updates on college rivalries, game day insights, and much, much more. It's football talk the way you want it. This show eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
And welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. We're going to finish off talking about basketball. We're going to talk about Kevin Love. You know, got a little bit of an injury. He's out for about 6 weeks.
No love.
What's that?
For Kevin Love.
No love for Kevin Love. Let's see what
Sorry.
she did there. It's okay. I was like, what did she? Oh, she made that pun. No, it's okay.
Corny, I know.
I always love pun jokes. Puns are always the best.
Puns.
So he's gone. Kevin Love is gone.
Yes. No All-Star game.
No love for Kevin Love. Carmelo Anthony,
however,
is the
finally
new person in there. And they asked LeBron James about it. They said, hey, you know, what do you think about you not being the oldest player in the All-Star game anymore? And he started laughing. He's like, okay, cool, good. It's not me anymore. Now it's Melo. Okay, cool. Just
yes.
laughing at his boys. Like, hey, you're the oldest one now. And it's kind of weird because they've been in the league since 2003. They've been in there
can you think
for a
about
really
that?
long time. Like,
it doesn't seem
that long, but like LeBron's 32. Melo's probably something like 33, probably because he went for a year and they came in the same draft. So he's probably 33. LeBron or Dwayne Wade's like 34. They're all basically towards the end of their careers. Like Wade probably is more than any of them.
Sure.
But now you get Carmelo Anthony back in the All-Star game. He's not had like a Melo-ish season, but I mean, he's still averaging over 20 points a game and 6 rebounds. He's still someone that, you know, you have to worry about. Like, the team may not be good, but he's still, as far as
putting
like
up his numbers.
Yeah, he's still doing really well in the league. And,
right.
you know, he's having a better year than he did last year, and last year he made the All-Star team. So it makes sense that he got in as a replacement. I just find it funny that, you know, the whole trade discussions was like, oh, maybe they finally trade Kevin Love for Carmelo Anthony. And that may or may not happen.
Right.
But the All-Star game was just like, okay, well, we'll just do this right now.
This is what it would look like.
Yeah, because there's certain things that I want to see in the All-Star game, because now basically you have the All-Star break for about a week, right? Like, you have a couple games tonight. Like, I think Chicago and Boston is one of the games. Like, you have 2 games tonight, but after that, you're basically done for a week, you know, not including the All-Star game and dunk contest, everything else. But now you have the situation where you're going to have LeBron and Melo play all on the same court. You know, maybe the only time this year, maybe they become teammates or whatever. But there's a couple things I want to see in the All-Star game.
What?
That's one of them. I want to see LeBron, Kyrie, and Melo all kind of play together like at one time to see how that works out. And I also want to see, this is a little bit more for just like pettiness. I want to
Russell?
see. Yes. Yes. I want to see.
I talked a little bit about that, I think, on the basketball podcast. I was just like,
I want the starting 5 to be Steph Curry,
all the Warriors,
Russell
plus
Westbrook.
Russell.
Yes. I want, yeah. So who'd that be? So it'd be Russ, Clay, Steph, Draymond, Durant. All 5 of them. Just go out there and just like roll the ball out there and be like, okay, whoever gets it. Like, did you ever see the 30 for 30 of the XFL? This was the XFL.
Yes.
You know how they started the XFL games? It wasn't a kickoff. They put a ball in the middle of the field and said, you go find it. Like, they just put a basketball out there. It's like, okay, you guys go grab it.
Go.
Because they're not going to pass. It's just whoever gets the ball past half court gets to shoot. That's all it is. Like, they're going to be running around through screens and everything else like that.
Russell might steal the ball from Steph.
Yes. He will absolutely, especially if
it's Kevin, he's legitimately just going to walk on him and give me that ball.
He just like takes the
look
ball.
at him, then look at him and be like, what? You didn't pass it to me? And then go.
He looks at him, looks at the rim, just dunks. Just looks back at him like, this is what I do. This is what I do, Kevin. You left me.
Oh, my God.
And that's all I want. Like, that's all I want. Like, there's certain things. There's just, the jokes are too good. Like, this whole football season.
It's too much.
This football season with Tom Brady and Deflategate, it was just too perfect of a scenario for it not to play out the way it did.
Like, they're just setting it all up for us.
Yeah. The only thing that would have been better would have been if if Westbrook had been named a starter, because then you can't get around it. Now Steve Kerr can kind of like, you know, start the 4 of them at one point, kind of flex it out a little bit, just have Russ play with like a Klay Thompson or something like that.
Sure.
Because he's not going to like yell at Klay. Clay's like the most mellow dude in the world.
They have much beef.
Klay looks like he's stoned 24/7.
But then it might just be principle.
Right. It could be
Russell might just hate Klay for principle.
And
Clay's just going to be like, oh, man.
Well, because he's the least of the worries, right? Because if you play him with Steph, he probably gets along with Steph.
No, I don't think so.
You think he's still mad at Steph?
He's a replacement.
Yeah.
No, you never get along with the replacement spouse.
Okay, fine.
It's too soon.
But my
Wounds
point
still hurt.
But my point is he's third on the list. Like Kevin's 1, Draymond is 1A.
No.
Draymond's not too far off, because if you want to say that Steph Curry is a replacement, what is Draymond then? Is Draymond like the evil mother-in-law or whatever else like that that's just going to come yell at you? Like Draymond is the one just talking all types of smack from the background. It's like, yeah, that's why he left you. Yeah, because you don't smell right.
Yeah.
Just like all these other things. He's just talking from the back. Like just saying whatever pops into his head. Like he got kicked out of the game last night because he keeps talking. Like that's all Dre does. Dre's really good at that. He is the perfect guy that does not care about your controversy.
It's not going to work out.
Like, I just want it to happen. I just want to see
Westbrook. Russell, please just steal the ball from Steph just once.
Like,
just steal the ball.
No, this is going to be the thing. You know how it's like the end of a quarter, and they do the thing where like they pass it in bounds, but they let it roll. They let it roll to half court. Russ just sees like Steph do it, and then he's like, oh, this. And he just like takes it, and he's just like, all right, I got this.
Yeah.
He just takes the ball from him at half court. It's like, this is my ball now.
This might be a really low scoring game for the West.
Just because
Russell's just going to keep stealing the ball from everybody.
And he just goes 1-on-5.
Yes.
Because they're not going to like defend anybody else.
Everybody on the East is just going to start cracking up laughing and just let him do whatever he wants.
Well, the 5 in the East, all those players are just going to collapse onto Westbrook because they know he's not going to pass.
He's not going to pass.
There's no thing of
but
maybe.
They might even let him shoot because they might just be like,
they're all about
do your thing, bro.
They just want him to score.
Yes, just do your thing, bro. Just do you. And then all the Warriors are just going to be standing there like, this guy is literally killing us. Like, he's being serious right now.
They're going to let him shoot. They're going to let Russ shoot. They're going to give him, a couple feet of space. They're going to let him shoot. And then every time Kevin Durant or Steph gets the ball, they just right on him.
Steph. He just for principle. So it's going to be terrible.
He just gets out there. Like Steph, all of a sudden, he's that quick release. Russ just comes out of nowhere.
Do they have many practices before?
Probably.
They might do 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? And it's not really like a full throttle practice.
No,
Russell ain't showing up.
Russ is going to show up. Russ is going to go full throttle, and Russ is going to be the man on defense every time on Kevin Durant. I got him. He's just every time going to yell, I got him.
He's like, that's mine.
Yes.
That's mine.
Every time.
That's mine.
I got him. It doesn't matter what the play is. It doesn't matter if Durant is, bringing the ball up. He's just always like, I got him.
Are they both going to show up? Are they gonna have to have 2 practices? One that has Durant and only Durant knows about it, and the next one that where only Russell knows about it?
Well, no. You can let Durant know about it all you want to. It's Russ you got to worry about, and it's Dre you got to worry about. It's those 2. That's the only ones you got to worry about. You don't got to worry about Steph. Steph's mild-mannered.
Poor Coach Kerr.
Oh, Kerr's good. Oh, my God. He's just going to have back problems again.
Because he's the one that has
to
babysit all this drama.
He's going to be calling out plays. He's going to be putting the hands up in the air, trying to signal a play to him, and Russ just looks at him. I don't know what that means. And just all of a sudden,
if he sits Russ, that's a bad look.
Yeah, no, he's not going to sit Russ. He's going to have to play Russ, and Russ is going to go full throttle. Whether he's
going to swat everyone.
I can see. No, the best thing actually,
he might shove somebody on his team.
No, you know what's going to happen? He's going to have the ball, and he's going to do a no-look pass to Steph or to Kevin Durant when they're on the bench, but he's going to hit him in the face.
Oh, Lord.
That's what he's going to do. He's going to be a no-look pass.
Why is that not?
You can see that.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. And then when it says, I thought he was playing. I don't know. I thought you wanted to play all these minutes.
I thought you were
a real player. I didn't know you didn't want to play these games. I didn't know you were soft.
Oh, you didn't see that? Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's going to be this whole big thing. Yeah, he's going to be like, oh.
I mean, this is the same guy that, and Russ talks about how he doesn't care about it. And it's fine. I get why you have to say that. Fine, whatever, because we like humble players, even if it's just, fake humble.
Fake humble.
But he's the same guy that showed up in the photographer costume mocking Kevin Durant. And then this last game, I don't know what it's a reference to, but he came out in a Willie Beeman jersey, the Any Given Sunday quarterback. I don't know why, but it looked great. He does these things for a reason. So he's got
I want the pettiness to just be on an all-time high that day.
I want him to be in the dunk contest and just have some form of no, that's actually really disrespectful. Never mind. I was trying to think of what he could do because I forgot he was still in Oklahoma City. I thought he was the one that went to Golden State for a second. And then because something, if you wanted to be if he ever does leave and he hates the city of Oklahoma City, he hates the Thunder, I think Westbrook could do is just show up in the Sonics jersey and just totally
Oh, yes.
But that doesn't work because he's still on the Thunder. Yeah. But it's
Kevin.
The All-Star game is going to be really fun.
I'm
and
excited for it.
I just want Westbrook
I
to
just
do
hope
something
that it's
insane.
as ridiculous as we're hoping it will be.
Right. It probably.
Give the people what we want.
That's all it is. I just want these things.
Give the people what we want.
I want minimal. I just want to
and
see.
now with Carmelo replacing Love, it's just too much.
It's
I can't
nice.
handle it.
Well, see, now I also want someone else to bow out of the East so that way Wade can get in there, and that way we can just all the buddies play. Just have LeBron and all his friends out there.
It's going to be a pickup game.
Uh-huh. But
and
all I
they're
want.
Gonna be that's what I'm saying. They're legitimately going to be standing there looking at Russell and be like, "Did you just swat Stephen?
They're on your
This
same.
man just swatted Stephen." His own teammate.
He just looks at him. I shoot. I'm the captain now.
I am the captain now. I'm the captain. I'm the point.
All
I'm
I want.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm the coach.
Watch me work.
I'm the GM. I do all this. This is what I do. I do this.
This is the Westbrooks.
Yes. The
Not
Westbrooks.
the West. The Westbrooks.
He just looks at He just looks at the camera. I do this. This is what I do. All I want is minimal. I just want to see Russ, KD. Actually, not all of them. All I want is Russ, Durant, and Draymond on the same court. That's it. Just those three. I don't care about the other two. Just those three. That's going to be the best.
They would off each other, and then they would be suspended for something because they'd be like, "You can't do that, you guys. You can't. This is
you can't throw a basketball at your own team. That's not how this goes."
Yeah, you can't do that. Oh Lord. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm really hoping that it's as petty as we want it to be.
We are all about the petty.
I'm all about it. I'm all about Russell getting a good laugh in.
Yes.
I want him to.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves it.
He gets his petty on.
He deserves it. So with that, we're going to end this episode of the podcast. You have been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Pauline.
And I'm Anthony.
And we will see you guys next time. Well, are you going to be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, Anthony will be here tomorrow. I'll be back in the studio with Ben on Monday.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.